Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you love to see how I transform from this look to this, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. So now I've applied foundation onto the skin and blending it with a damp beauty sponge. You have to make sure your beauty sponge is wet and damp because it helps for easy blending of the foundation into the skin. I've done my brows and skin prep off camera. If you love to see my brow tutorial, I have a brow tutorial in my channel. You can go to watch the brow tutorial. So I'm blending the skin well. A blended skin is the main deal, guys. You have to make sure you blend your skin to the guts. So you have to just blend. You just need to blend. As I've said earlier, you can spray your sponge with a water, a setting spray or anything to make it wet because it allows it to blend well and gives full coverage as such. So you have to make sure you blend, and mind you, you have to be careful of the brow area. You do not want to erase your brows, so you have to make sure you blend well. So on to the next, I will take those two shades of concealer. I'll be applying the lighter shade in my inner corner of the eyes, as you can see me do. Then I'll take the darker shade, I'll apply it to the outer areas of my eye. Then highlighting, you have to highlight the T-zone. Basically you have to highlight the bridge of the nose, the inner corner of the eyes, the forehead and the jaw. So that is basically the T-zone in which you have to highlight. So I'm doing this in order to get a kind of like ombre effect. Sorry guys, every product being used will be listed in my description box. So you have to blend with a damp beauty sponge as well. You can see I'm blending the darker shade first. That is what you have to do. You have to blend the darker shade out first before going to the lighter shade. And also you have to blend your highlighting area as well. You have to blend it very well. You have to make sure you blend out the concealers. You can see I'm blending out the forehead. You have to be mindful of your brows, guys. You have to really be mindful of the brows area. Guys, don't mind my hand. That is the hand of a makeup artist, really. You cannot expect anything lesser than that. So now I'll be using the Sacha Buttercup translucent setting powder to set the highlighted areas in which I've highlighted. So I'm literally setting the areas, not baking. This is setting. I'm actually setting the areas where I highlighted. Furthermore, as the video continues, you'll see how I bake also. But first you have to set the areas. You have to make sure you particularly set the under eye well so as not to crease. You do not want any harsh lines around that area. I'm doing that onto the second eye also. I have to make sure I set that area very well. Alright, I'll be going on with a powder palette to set the rest of my face. I guess is an LA Girl powder palette. Sorry guys. So I'll be using it to set the rest of my face. I'll be listing all the products like I've said in the description box. Further, I'll be taking the powder palette as well, and I'll be using the darker brown shade there to contour my face. You can see me too. The hollows of your face, basically, you have to contour. So I'll be going with another powder palette. I can't remember the name, but it will be in the description box. So I'll be using that pink shade as you have seen to blush up my skin. You have to make sure you blend every single bit of what you applied onto your skin well. You have to blend them well. You can see I kept on blending it because I want to have a seamless finish. I want to have that flawless look. So I'll be using the Sacha buttercup powder to do a kind of a reverse contour. So also I will be setting the under eye area. Sorry guys, I'm baking rather. I'm baking the under eye area like I've said before. I've set the areas, so I'm now baking the areas as well. I'm actually prepping the eye area for the eyeshadow work I'm about to do. So baking is also kind of like literally setting your face. So I'll be using that blending brush to do my nose contour. So guys, I will really advise, if you want to have a snatch nose contour, you start by contouring your nose from underneath the brows. There you have a kind of like a kind of curve from the eye area and it brings out the nose contour you want. And it kind of like brings about the illusion that you want as well. So you start the contour from beneath the eyebrow area. So I'm using the concealer to kind of prep my eye area for the eyeshadow I'm about to apply. So I'm also blending. You have to blend well as well. You do not want creases or harsh lines, so you have to blend every bit of what you apply to your face. Like you see me do, you can see how well it's blended in that area. Likewise, I'm doing to the other side of my eye as well. So as you can see, I will be taking an eyeshadow palette. I can't remember the name, so I'll be using the orange shade there. I'll apply it to my eyelid. That will be my main color. Mind you have to stipple your eyeshadow in order to get a full coverage of your eyeshadow, what you want. So you have to stipple the eyeshadow onto your eyelid. You do not smudge, you have to just stipple, then you have a full coverage of the colors or the eyeshadow you want. So make sure you stipple or you damp, do not smudge. So I'll be taking that Jacklyn Hill's eyeshadow palette and we'll be using the yellowy golden shade. It's a shimmer color actually. Then I'll be applying it to my tear dot. Further, I will be applying it to the other eye area as well. So I think I cut out that clip, or maybe I didn't add the clip to the video. I actually used the yellow shade on that palette to transition my orange shade. Then I'll be using a powder brush to dust off the excess powder and also to blend into the skin, as you see me do. So you have to blend this part very well because you do not want any ash stuffs, because while you have a white cast, yes, white cast underneath your eyes, it brings about flashback when you snap pictures. So you do not want a white cast, you have to dust off very well. So I'll be taking that Huda Beauty eyeliner to line my eye area. So I'll be creating a inner wing liner. I do not want it to be too dramatic. I do not like dramatic liners too, because I don't have a very large eyelid area. So I try as much as possible to make every wing I do kind of small and little. I do not want it to be too dramatic. So I'm literally doing it to the other side of the eye as well, just little, not too dramatic. So I'll be taking a tape to do my wing liner. I love using a tape to do my wing liner in order to get that snatch look I desire. So I'll be connecting it with the Huda line to have a perfect wing liner. So I'll be doing it to the second eye as well. Mind you guys, you have to press that tape gently onto your skin. You do not want it to be too harsh because it might drag out foundation and you have patches around there, and you do not want that to happen, so you have to be careful. So I could remember most people will say, how are you using tape on my clients especially, and then I'll tell them I want to get a snatch wing. Some will jokingly say, are you doing a surgery? Yeah, but guys, it is in order for us to get a snatch wing. So I'll be taking that black liner, I'll be using it to line my waterline. So I'll be taking that eyeshadow palette. We use the red, the yellowy and the brownish shade. So I'll be using the shades to smoke out my under eye, as you see me do. Alright, I've done my lash off camera. So I'll be taking the bronzer to bronze up my cheek. Yeah, so we literally bronze up the skin in order to have that glowy effect. So I'm blending it into the skin as well. I'm also bronzing up that brow bone area in order to have that glow effect around there as well. Guys, all the products once again will be literally listed in the description box. I'm very sorry guys. Alright, I'll be taking these two lippie shades and that lippie brush. So I'll be using the red shade first. You know, it's actually a bold lips we are going for today. So I'm taking that reddy shade and applying it to my lips. I don't quite remember the name. It will also be in the description box. Sorry guys. So there you get to know the names and the shade in case you want to get yours. And mind you, every product here being used is very affordable and you can get it anywhere at any time guys. I'll also be using the brown lippie to line the tip of my lips in order to have that curve and to have a ombre effect. So guys, I'm lining the tip of my lips. You can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I haven't done that guys. Here is the finished look guys. I hope you guys love the look, the outcome of the look, and I will urge you guys to subscribe to my channel. See you in my next one. Bye guys.